Hi, my name is Addison Stewart. I'm a freshman studying biochemistry. For this project, our goal was to create a virtual reality simulation for physician assistants and nursing students to practice on. This simulation is being created for those students who are studying at Oxley College of Health and Science.
Hello, I'm Logan Patrick. I'm a graduate student here at TU, and I've done the original paper design for the project and research, as well as working on 3D modeling here with our TURC team. And I'm really excited for this project because I think it will have a great impact to the students at Oxley School of Health and Science, because it uses current technology that's now readily available there to solve problems for students and professors alike.
The player will start out in the med room. They will use the green circles on the floor to teleport across the room. First, the player must check the patient's med chart. From there, they will see the medication they need to give and the correct dosage. Next, the player will need to sanitize their hands. They can do this one of two ways. They can either use the hand sanitizer located on the wall, or they can dip their hands into the water in the sink. Next, the player will need to teleport over to the med cart. Once they open a drawer, they will select the correct medication. From there, they will teleport over to the area next to the computer. They will then choose the correct dosage of medication to give. If the player has chosen the correct dosage, a green check mark will appear.
Hi, my name is Jacob Sharp, and I'm an incoming sophomore, double majoring in computer simulation and gaming and computer science. And my job on the project was to work on the objectives and the scenarios for the simulation. So the majority of my time went into working on taking the objects and the interactions that my teammates have already put together and sequencing those interactions together. So for instance, early on, one of the first scenarios we put together was taking a specific medicine and putting the correct amount of that medicine onto a cart. And so my teammates had already done things like getting the models for the medicine in the cart ready and creating the mechanics for getting pills out of a bottle and cutting them with a pill cutter. So my job was to take all those actions and make a system that could detect those were done in the right order, and then also detect things like whether the right medicine was used and whether the right amount was put onto the cart. I didn't actually have a lot of experience with Unity before I joined this project, so I've learned a lot about programming in C# and using the Unity editor. As I've programmed in the system, I've also had to be careful to keep it modular so that we could take it and apply it to other projects if we wanted to without having to change any of the fundamentals. And that was a relatively new challenge for me, and I'm sure that that experience will be useful in the future. And another one of my challenges that I ran into is this was one of my first times doing programming in a team this big. So I've had to be very careful about like documentation and making sure that my code is easy to understand and modify, which when I do personal projects usually isn't as much of a concern because I know exactly what I'm doing. And it's usually more of a one-off type of project. And so this project, I've had to kind of clean up some of my code and learn how to really document things well. And that was probably going to be one of my biggest takeaways from this project.
Hi, my name is Jansma. I am a computer science major, and I've been working on the movement system within the simulation. I decided to take part in this project because I thought it would be a great opportunity for me to gain some research experience while also kind of seeing if it was for me. I was also really drawn in by the fact that the project involved VR, and I thought I would learn a lot of new skills, meet some new people, and all of it was going to benefit other students and the community. I really learned a lot from this TURC experience. I learned about how valuable effective teamwork and communication can be, and I went into this project with very little programming knowledge, so I had to learn to use my resources effectively whilst also not being afraid to ask my other team members if I had questions that I didn't have the answers to.
Hello, my name is Blenhan Crowder. I worked on the code behind the interactables in the simulation. So anything that moves or that you can pick up, as well as a lot of the objects that have triggers, so like the sink and the pill cutter. My majors are computer simulation and gaming, mathematics, and computer science. Working on this project, I learned how to develop modular code, and I learned more about game development in general. I decided to work on this project to increase my development skills for the gaming industry, as I hope that it'll one day be my career. This project has opened my eyes to all the issues and work that game developers have to go through when creating even the simplest of games, and adding VR into the mix was even more difficult. This was my second time working on a VR project for Tulsa, but first time working with code and the functionality side. Overall, it was a ton of fun, and I hope to continue working on this project until it is finished.
This project has not only taught me a lot about programming, but a lot about the procedures that need to be done before we can even actually create a simulation. That involved a lot of talking with the individuals who run the simulation and figuring out exactly how I can help recreate that real-life experience in a virtual reality headset. Everyone worked incredibly hard on this project, and it could not have been completed without everyone on board. We plan on making this project not only a VR simulation, but also one that can carry over onto a computer. This way, students who do not have access to a VR headset can still experience the simulation. This also means that students can practice the scenario as many times as they would like. I believe all of us have developed a new set of skills that will be applicable to all areas of life. I can't wait to see how every individual uses this education in the future to further their career goals, as well as benefit the community